Hello, hello, hello. Hi, thank you for joining. Just trying to give it a little time. I just have something I need to speak on. I don't know who this is for, but it just won't leave me alone. I was laying in my bed this morning and God kept bothering me. He was talking to me about I kept hearing people need to hear your testimony. People need to hear your testimony. We need your testimony. Somebody needs to hear your testimony. So, of course, my thinking is I'm knowing at some point, you know, it would be shared. I feel like I'm still working out my testimony. God said to me, somebody needs to hear about this. It's something that I hit on from time to time, but I don't care to go too much into it and talk about it. Many times when you move past things, you let them go, you release them, unless you mention it just to, make points or share for some reason. But God is saying, I need to speak on this. And like I said, I don't know who this is for, but I'm just being obedient. I'm thinking I'll work it in a video one day soon, this week coming. I just leave out of the store. While I'm in the store, I grab some iced coffee. It's a nice day today. Today is a nice day. I get in my car. I actually had a breakfast sandwich too. I'm a little hungry. So I sat here in the car, ate my sandwich. And God said, I need you to share your testimony. And he said right now. So I'm here now, live. But what he want me to share is this. So I want to say this before I go into it. If you're going through something, if you're in some kind of a relationship or was, hi Creole Mom of Two, thank you for joining. I don't know the situation, but what I'm here to tell you is that you can get through this. You might be in some painful situations. You may have experienced some horrible pain. You may be in pain. Whoever this is for somebody that's in pain right now. And I don't know, I could be wrong, but I'm just going to say what my specific situation was. And God was like literally talking to me about this morning. And over the last maybe week or so, it kept coming up. But it kept coming up in a way of how I'm going to put it like this. How I overcame so much. And it was because God was with me. God didn't allow certain things to happen. God did not allow certain things to go down. God did not allow the enemy to take me out. But I had a part to play in it as well. And what was my part? Faith, believing, trusting. So here it is. I was in a previous situation. I was married to an individual who completely, and it's so crazy because this is kind of how just me coming on now, it just came back to me. And as of lately, like I said, I've been really reflecting on, because God keep bringing it to my attention. And he brought it up to me this morning. And that's when he was showing me, you need to tell this. This man he had completely turned into a full-blown devil, like literally. And I was in a situation where I love hard, if I love you, I love you. And that's just that. And that's how it was. And so it was a situation where this is a person, and I'm sharing this to make points, because obviously this is for somebody. So it was a situation where I was in process. I had always had this thing for God. I was, in a place where I was on purpose and still am on purpose, growing in God. Didn't know what that meant, didn't know what that looked like, just knew I'm all for God and whatever God is doing in my life, and I'm moving with God. That was my attitude. I went in a situation sharing that, and this person said, yeah, they was on that too. Now I'm gonna be honest, I kind of knew that that wasn't completely true, but it was just it was just like God was still leading me to walk down this path. He also made me aware in the beginning that I was gonna have to work myself out of it. He also made me aware that it was gonna be some pain. Now in the beginning, that was what it was. Life went on, years went on, 10 years. We get to 8 and 9 and 10 years, and I'm not thinking about that stuff anymore. But things have started to happen and transpire, and like I said, this person turned into a complete devil. I want to say where I was concerned, but you can't just be a devil with certain people. I mean, well, actually, you kind of can. But for you to be able to do that, mean that that's what's really in you. You just play a role. You just play different roles depending on who you entertaining. So here's the thing. This person had got to a place where they were literally trying to kill me, destroy me, like literally. So throughout some parts of the relationship, things just went left. It went completely left. What I started to discover was that this person was very jealous of me. And he would do things and say things and just little stuff. It was just little stuff, and it built up. It was just a lot. I also became aware that this person was really just, it was like they were there to benefit from me, make it seem like they was taking care of me, which I did my part too. But they just had, but what it really was, they want to give that um image like they were taking care of me. And when I'm speaking in terms of what they were trying to present to others, they were making it sound like I didn't have nothing, which I did. I did. But I don't go around, trying to tell people my stuff or whatever, because it ain't nobody's business. So anyhow, this person, it was like, okay, at the time I was in school when I met this person. I was in a master's program, then I went on to a doctor's program. And so what this person was thinking in terms of was what they could get out of me because of my drive, because of my ambition. Now time went on, and as time went on, when I graduated, my thing was never to be go work for somebody. It was always about me building my own business. Again, I didn't know what that looked like, what that meant. It just was in me to do. So I'm just going through my life, doing what I'm doing. And when I graduated, I did, check things out and see what was going on out there, in the workforce streets, which I end up kind of somewhat bagging up from it a lot because of what I was seeing. I knew, I don't even know how to explain it, but it was like what certain things that I was coming across, I was beyond it, and I couldn't settle. There were other things also that I would do. I would do work little jobs, but I would do part-time because I had this attitude that I'm not giving people my time like that. But I wanted to make a little extra money. And I say extra money because, what I had, my stable income was that what it was. And it stemmed through my daughter because I have a daughter with a disability. So I had a way, things worked out for me in a way where I really didn't have to work, but I would work and do little jobs to make some little extra money, just to make some money. But what I was doing also was that, because I was somewhat still in the system, where it concerns my income, I didn't want to make too much money where everything would be cut off. And then, me knowing that, I just put it like this. You know how I go, where you can only make so much money. I had a thing where either I'm going to go hard, I'm going to go big so that I can not need it, or let me just do a little something until I can get my way to where I can go big and let all that stuff go. And this was kind of the situation I was in too, because of the situation I was in with this person. So it was kind of like I couldn't even put their income, because they did work on my stuff. Because it was really a situation like we really were not really married. We were, but it didn't feel like that. Because it was not like, it was just jacked up. I'm just gonna say what it is. But it was okay, because like I said, as I'm going through this, I'm learning stuff, I'm peeping things, I'm seeing things. I did come to a realization where I realized that this person thought, well, when I didn't want the job, I didn't want to go work the job. And then what was happening too is God had me moving around a certain kind of way, because I'm going to say God knew. Of course God knew. But it's like he wouldn't even let me move into certain things. He was blocking certain things and not letting certain things transpire, because this person, he didn't want me to come into certain things while this person was still in my life. Now, don't get me wrong, this person served a purpose. I learned from him. I'm going to tell you what I'm reminded of my girl, Demonology 101. She used to tell me about this lady that's the class she taught. And we both came to realize she should be teaching Demonology 101, because she a full-blown devil. But anyway, that's what I learned with this person. I literally watched this person morph and transform into a full-blown devil. I've come to realize that this person literally hated me. Now, they had some little insecurities and some little issues or whatever, so did I. But the thing with me was that I would rather work my stuff out. That's what I was doing. I was on this journey of working things out. I'm learning, I'm educating myself, doing the inner work. This person was completely opposed to any such thing. So that was a big old red flag, among many, but more so a red flag, just paying attention to what it was with this person and how it came to this point and to this place of such hate and towards me, to the point they wanted to destroy me. I mean, when I say destroy me, I'm talking about literally. Like, we're doing things, when I finally removed myself from the situation, I did it in pieces. I did it in pieces because, as you know, if you with somebody, you intertwine with someone like that, regardless of how jacked up and toxic the situation was, I'm learning this. I'm in the midst of it, learning it, but at the same time knowing I had to get out of it because it wasn't getting better. It was a thing of, how you hope, you think things will get better, you hope a person will change and things will work out, but you realize that's not what's happening. In fact, the complete opposite was happening, like the complete opposite. So I'm knowing I need to remove myself. I'm knowing God is calling me to something. I was still trying to take this person with me, but God was literally moving me to remove myself from the situation. And I did. And why I did was removing myself, I was trying to literally take them along, letting them go, and trying to take them all at the same time. But the thing is this, it's not it wasn't easy to let it go, especially after being with someone for all those years. I had my mind set on what provisions God has showed me and some things that God has shown me I was coming into, particularly with in a marriage. And I can remember in the beginning of the situation, God was showing me it, and I thought it was him. Not understanding at the time it's not him. I was trying to make that happen. I was supposed to walk through that journey, don't get me wrong, but what I had to learn is not him, because he wasn't willing to level up, as what they call it, like rise to the occasion, step up and do the work, and I'm talking about the inner work, do the God work. You know what I'm saying? This person wasn't even trying to walk with and follow God. He claimed to be a Muslim. He did all the physical, the fasting and all that stuff, but he was a full-blown devil. And I'm just peeping and paying attention and noticing things, learning. I'm learning. So, he carrying on and going on, and we just going on about our lives, and I'm paying attention. So going back to what I was saying, I removed myself from the situation, and I stayed in contact with the person. I completely relocated, but I was still in contact because I was still in some small way trying to see if it could work. Of course, I came to a realization that it wouldn't and it couldn't. But here's the thing. This person was literally trying to kill me This person was literally trying to hurt me, trying to cause me pain. This person was doing all kind, and I was seeing it before I left. In fact, before I left, my thinking was, I'm finna get out of here before this, because I knew things was getting ready to explode. I saw where things were going because of things that were taking place. This person was out here just doing whatever with whoever, and I know since I removed myself from them and spread it themselves all over everywhere, they was already in horrible shape when I removed myself. And I've been made aware that they're worse because they didn't want to pick up all these more demons, all these, and when you engage in all these different kind of people, all these gutter kind of people, just devilish people. So this person just went and just messed themselves up even worse. But the point that I was really wanting to make there is they were literally out there doing all kind of stuff, but it was a lot of it was to hurt me. They were like going through it. Listen, I'm hearing they were hurting themselves to hurt me, to try to hurt me. Because anybody know that if you out here messing around, if you cheat on your wife or your husband or whatever your situation may be, you're not hurting them, even if it hurt them. What are you doing to yourself? You're engaging, you're hurting yourself. You're disrespecting your own self, your own body. But many people don't have no respect for themselves, so that's why they do what they do anyway. Let me take a break, y'all. Someone manipulated my old dad. He's been getting so ill lately, and today I went and asked the career why she left him sitting in the dark. When she went out, we had a full-blown disagreement. This is what I need to hear right now. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't know who this is for, but I know God is telling me to share this. And the parts that I'm emphasizing, because listen, here you go. The pain. People will try to, listen, they call them narcissists, is what we've learned these days. That's what they're called. But these people, sometimes people will hate you. Listen, when you are chosen one, when you're God's elect, people will hate you. Not everybody, but for what we talking about. In this case, this person, come to find out, they hated me. I want to say hated my guts. It's a question. It became a thing for me, like, was there ever any love there? Which I don't care about, obviously, at this point. But, going through that, and then after getting out of that and being able to look at it and see what was really going on, because my thinking is that ain't love. It didn't always start off crazy. It developed into something very toxic and demonic. As this person turned more toxic and demonic. And here's the thing, the trigger of that was me moving in the things of God. So what was happening is, because I was moving in the things of God, God reminded me of this morning. The devil was using that person because of the love I had for him, because of the nature of our relationship. See, it's a thing of thinking, well, that surely he could keep me from moving in the things of God if he hurt me bad enough. And it was a combination of trying to hurt me, but stringing me along, trying to keep me there, trying to hurt me, cause me horrible pain, and keep me there, keep me stuck while you over here doing what. It's crazy. I had this thing when I really was coming into terms and what was going on. I said, well, who thinks like that? What kind of a person even wants to do something like that to somebody? Demonic, devilish people. That's who. So here's what I'm saying. Going through all that, trying to let it go, having a hard time letting it go. It was painful. And when I say painful, I'm talking about that kind of pain that you just, I don't want to say you wish you was dead, but you wish you ain't here. You don't want to feel that pain no more. It was that kind of pain. And mind you, soul ties. Because, sex creates soul ties. Even though that was my husband, it was a horrible soul tie that I had to slaughter. I had to cut cords. It was work. I was grieving. I was in so much pain. But what I did do while I was in that pain was that I trusted God. I cried out to God. He was my help. And so it was a thing where in the midst of all that pain, I laid in the pain right with God. I'm saying that to say I had to go through that pain. The only way for me to get through that, to overcome it, was to go through it. I could not avoid it. It was right there. It was right there. So I had to press through painfully. And that's at the same time letting this person go. Because like I said, it was a process doing that. But I'm already knowing I'm having to let this person go. Because I'm realizing he ain't no good for me. This ain't good. This man is trying to kill me. Well, I knew it was the devil. It was really the devil. But he was using this man who he had control over now. And so for me, it was just a thing of I had to go through it. But here's the thing. I knew that I would get to the other side. I knew, as painful as it was, and I knew only God could get me through it. And listen, it wasn't a thing of I had to take care of myself. I had to nurture myself. It wasn't a thing of, let me put it like this. I had to learn to nurture myself, self-care on a whole nother level. Doing the things that gave me joy, doing the things that made me happy. In the midst of all this pain, in the midst of it. But I had to continue to take those steps. I had to continue to apply, I just heard pressure. And applying pressure is just applying the pressure to your healing. Applying the pressure of getting through, hanging in there, pushing, in spite of the pain. Listen, this is what I learned. It was painful. It was horrible. But let me tell you what that pain won't do. It won't kill you. You know how that saying go, what don't kill you make you stronger. It's true. It feels like it will kill you, but it's making you stronger. But you got to push through it. You have to allow yourself to be there. And I'm saying all that to just say that it hurts somebody. You can get through the pain. I'm hearing trouble don't last always. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. It may not be literally in the morning, but it's coming. You might not be able to see the end of the stairwell or the light at the end of the tunnel. I've been hearing this a lot lately. But take the steps. Do the work. I promise you, that light is at the end of that tunnel. And you will come to a place where you will remember the pain, but you won't feel it no more because you will be so far removed from it. But the thing is this, you have to push through that pain. And it can be painful. Like I said, specifically in situations where you separate yourself from someone you being in a relationship with in that kind of a way. It's not easy. I would not dare sit here and tell you, oh, it's a piece of cake. I would never lie. Now, at some point, it becomes a piece of cake to you, but that's because you done already did all the painful work. And there was something else I wanted to say. Oh, I remember going through that, and it was a young lady where I was staying at the time, and she kind of knew what I was somewhat going through. And I shared with her one day, we were talking, I said, man, this is a trip. I was like, my goodness. I said, I see why women stay in situations. And she looked, and I said, because they don't want to go through this pain. I said, I'm not saying they should stay. I'm just saying I get why they do. But here's the thing. Staying in a bad situation, a painful situation, if you stay in a painful situation, the pain never go away. At least if you remove yourself from it and you go through the pain of removing yourself from it, the pain will go away. But the pain won't ever go away if you stay in the painful, toxic situation. You will never overcome. You will never get to the end of that tunnel. You will never see the light at the end of that tunnel because you're staying in something that's already painful. You're staying, and it's just going to bring you more pain. It doesn't get better. If someone is not loving you properly, if someone is not respecting you, not treating you properly, that's not love. You need to remove yourself. You need to learn how to love yourself. You need to learn how to love yourself better, whatever the case may be. Those are always indications that you're not loving yourself enough. Doesn't mean you're not a loving person. In fact, many times, unfortunately, in these kind of situations, narcissists They are attracted to people who love like that, so they can mistreat them. So it's because you're a loving person. It's because you're a loving person. So you have to understand these kind of people don't love themselves. And the fact that you love like that bothers them. Makes me think of the situation I was in, because that's part of what that person hated about me. That I loved like that. And they thought that, oh, you love, you want me so bad. I mean, I was trying to work stuff out with them because, yeah, I had a certain idea of a great life with my partner. But, they took that like, oh, I could take advantage and play you. I could just, who thinks like that? Who thinks like that except for someone who doesn't love themselves, that's insecure in themselves? How that saying go? Just because how they say you found a fool bump his head. Lies. You found a fool. If you bump their head, what that make you? I always say people that try to take advantage of somebody prey on a what they call weak, if that's even that. What are you? You're weak. If you out here trying to play somebody, take advantage of somebody love you, and you want to play them on that, what's up? What's up with you? So I'm saying all that too just to say this person was very jealous of me. I found that out. I want to say I made the mistake one time of saying something that probably didn't help our situation, but I feel that either way it didn't matter, because if you have an element of jealousy in you, it's gonna show itself. It don't matter what you do. It doesn't matter. What's in you gonna come out. As a man thinking in his heart, so is he. So it's going to show itself one way or the other. But what it was that I had said to this person one day, and God had brought it to my attention sometime after I was out of the situation, just showing me little different things that I had done, that kind of triggered that within that person, not meaning to. I said something like, because it was a thing where people used to look at us or look at me when I was with this person, like, what you doing with him? I've even had to ask people. I've even asked certain people that I know. I say, I know what you're thinking. What am I doing with him? And they'd be like, yeah. But I would tell people I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. And I did know what I was doing. I knew what I called myself doing, why I was there. I knew the situation. I knew that this person really wasn't, my kind, so to speak. But it is what it is. I don't want to go too much into that part. But I said to this person, I had pointed out that people be looking at me like, what am I doing with you? And I just think that just didn't sit well with them, which is understandable. I didn't have to say that, but I wasn't thinking, I don't know, I was younger. I don't know if that's the reason why, but I didn't know. I didn't have the wisdom or whatever to know, don't say that. And I didn't mean anything bad. I was just, I don't know. You know how sometimes you just don't know. Until you learn, it's like, oh, wow, that wasn't nothing that needed to be said. Even if it was understood, because I'm sure he was aware that that's what was happening. But I said it, and I believe that it contributed to making matters worse. So this person, along with that situation, went on a war path or whatever you want to call it, to be my enemy. And it became a thing too. I started noticing competitiveness. So it was like they were trying to outdo me and trying to push me beneath them and wanted to be better than me. And it had a lot to do with because of who I was. And even though I didn't know like I know now, and I wasn't walking in it like I am now, I knew. I had a sense of self. I had a sense of God's self. I've always had that. And so that was seen. That person knew this. They was aware of that, but they also saw that I was like really, really gung-ho on being with them and trying to work things out with them. And that's where they kind of went left and said, oh, well, let me, along with the jealousy and, whatever they had going on, it was a thing of, and it was like, let me hurt you. Let me take you out. Let's see. Then I would speak my dreams sometime. I would share certain things. And I would notice gang stalkers, murders. I would notice too how I can remember one day talking to this person. I said, I don't remember what I said, but I said something like, we about to hit them trillions, millions, billions, trillions. And I put my hand up to do a high five. And they was like real hesitant and looking confused and was like, they high five was weak. But that's because that person didn't believe. That person wasn't in tune to what I was in tune to. They wasn't tapped into what they weren't getting the downloads I was getting. And they didn't believe like that. They didn't believe, they thought I was crazy. They didn't say it out their mouth, but it's like, what? What? But I'm saying all that part to just say how me having that kind of how I was, they were jealous of that. And so, again, it became a competitive thing where they had to outdo me. Now, how can you be in a marriage or a relationship with somebody that's trying to outdo you? Ain't you supposed to be a team? Well, we wasn't. And that's what I was realizing. I was just seeing stuff for what it was. And like I said, along with that, especially once I removed myself from the premise, even though I was still kind of in touch with this person, I would start having these dreams. God would start just showing me all kinds of stuff. It was so many things God was showing me that this person was doing, had been doing. And it was horrible. This person was horrible. Now, when we would communicate, and if I asked questions, of course, they wouldn't tell me the truth. But the truth was constantly revealing itself. I just knew that they were lying. And I was really learning their nature, their character, who they really were. So this person thought that because of the love that I had for them, or that I thought I had for them, that they could just do me any kind of way and I'd just be there. And who wants to do something like that to somebody? It goes right back to that. See, that's how I think. When I become aware of what you want, yes, I went through the pain of, man, this is what you want? Because that was hurtful to find out this person want to hurt me. This is what this person doing. It was hurtful. But then I moved past the pain of, this is what they're trying to do, hurt me and be hurt by it, to, okay, being able to accept and acknowledge this is what this is. And, the pain subsides because, now we getting over it. Now we getting over the whole attachment to the person. And starting to accept, okay, this is what this is. And so that's part of what you have to do. You have to just take yourself through the process. Yeah, it's going to be pain. Yes, it's going to hurt. You cutting cords and breaking soul ties in this kind of a situation. Understandable. You're going to feel it. But just go through it. And like I said, you shift over from, oh, I can't believe, to believe it. Believe it. It is what it is. Okay. And when you acknowledge and accept that this is what somebody is, that helps relieve the pain. That helps you. They actually help you. It's how it makes me think of the saying, how they say, when people show you who they are, believe them. When people show you who they are in that kind of a manner, they help you not love them no more. You can't keep loving somebody that you know is trying to cause you harm and pain. No, you don't. You may have realized, man, I love this person at one point, but you're not going to keep loving them. You're not going to keep, not for real. Now, I'm reminded of how, the women, even men that say, when people say, well, why you keep doing, why you keep putting up? Why? Because I love them. No, that's not love. That's attachment. That's a dysfunctional, unhealthy relationship. That's what that is. But when you don't know no better, it is what it is. It's okay. We have to learn these things. We don't know. Nobody ain't teaching us this. We learning this stuff on our own. And then where it is being taught, if we not attuned to it or exposed to it. Anyway, the whole thing is, and you say run from them. Hey, Miss Annie, how are you? Thanks for joining. I was going to say thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing too. That's right. We win. We had a victory. That's right. And it has to be your attitude. And that's what my attitude was. Like I said, y'all, I was in pain. Listen, I would tell anybody that's going through anything like that, I'm not going to play no games and tell you it ain't going to hurt. I'm going to put that out there up front because it's just the truth. You might as well prepare. At least at least you get a chance to prepare for the pain, knowing it's coming. I don't know if that helps, but but you can get through it. You can get through it. But this is the thing, that pain, listen, when I was going through what I was going through, God was literally saying to me, I'm birthing your purpose. Your purpose is coming from this. Literally. Literally, God, in the middle of my pain, God, really, this what you telling me? And the thing is, that's actually what happened. That's what happened. So this person was trying to cause me to not be able to rise into who God created me to be. They were trying to like hurt me so bad. You know, I'm just thinking like, I don't know. I just find it funny because I'm like, I have had moments like this person thought they was all that like that. Like they could just do that. And but God said to me how it was because of the way I felt about them. Because I'm like, they wasn't really all that. And then even when I said certain things nice about them, I was being nice. Not saying that they weren't, because I mean, I'm not going to just be with somebody that's just like a raggedy dog. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, no shade to no raggedy dogs now. But y'all know what I'm saying. It wasn't all like that. He wasn't all that. He wasn't even my type. Like I said, y'all heard me say people would be looking like, what you doing with him? But see, I'm like that. And so I guess me being like that and taking him on, heck, he probably thought he was sitting on top of the world. I made him feel like he was all that. I actually did do that. Made him feel like he was all that. So he thought, oh, well, let me play you. I guess he thought he had that kind of power. But the thing is, when the devil get inside of you, he'll have you thinking that. He'll have you thinking just that. So going back to what I was saying, actually, I had to push through that. And then even after that, some years after that, this person just as of recent, I don't even know what's going on right now because I'm so far removed from it. I only be made aware when God is showing me and making me aware of stuff. And I done got to the point, like, I'm like, I don't want to hear no more. Because I first don't care. Of course, I'm going to hear what God is telling me. But it's like when a person just steadily going, and I get on my fingers and get to count how many years it's been, and I'm just like done. Like you still going. As of recent, this person was still going, trying to do things to stop my life, stop my money. That was a big thing for this person. This person didn't want me to have no money. They wanted me to be like nothing. They just didn't want me to have nothing. And it's so funny because God will constantly tell me, but you are destined for greatness. You are destined. It's your inheritance to receive wealth. This is written. God said it's written. So this person trying to stop something that God has ordained and is destined by God. It's like, you can't stop it. But it amazed me that they tried and continuously tried even after years of not excuse me, y'all. Even years of not even being in contact. Excuse me. Because what happened was this person thought I was just going to always be there waiting for them. They could always circle back around to me. I could just go out there and do whatever, and I'm going to be right there, stuck on them. Excuse me, y'all. They see me level up. They watch. They stalk. They do their little black magic, purple magic. Pay somebody to do it. This person is African. Not that all Africans do that, because they don't. But, yeah. It's something that they practice. Those that do. This person is with somebody that was doing that to them when I was still with them. They was doing black magic and spell work on them. That's how they ended up with them. And I was peeping it. But my thing was, I was trying to tell this person certain things and let them know what this person was on. I wouldn't say all that part, but I would let them know they trying to get you. And then they was trying to break us up. But my thinking was, if you let them, gone. Which is part of why I had to remove myself. I'm like, I'm not hanging around for this. And y'all know the narcissists and the flying monkeys, they like that kind of stuff. They like drama and little triangles and going back and forth. And it's my man. I ain't doing that. And I told the person, so I'm not competing with you for you. I'm not fighting for you, over you. A man wouldn't even put me in no such of a situation. And to me, a man that does that is not a man. That's my disposition. So that's what I see. Like, you're not a man. You're weak. That's how I felt. I'm just stating how I felt. I'm like, you're not a man. That ain't what men do. You like to be out in the streets playing. You like drama. And I'm just thinking in terms of rolling around in the mud like pigs. Y'all know that's what pigs like to do. Roll around in the mud. They wanted me rolling around in the mud with them. I'm like, I don't like dirt. I don't like mud. Y'all gone. Y'all got that. I don't know if I'm getting too hot. An old lady man. It's so funny you say that. Because you know the scripture. I be saying this. I just said it the other day. God was talking to me about something similar to some of this nonsense. And we were speaking of silly women laden with sin. And so I had this thing where I be like, silly men laden with sin. Scripture don't say silly men laden with sin, but I'm like, the silly men, they act like silly women laden with sin. It's not manly. They not men. They're not men. Yes, amen, Miss Annie. Yeah, he has. You right. He healed my heart. And listen. That's what I'm saying when he was on me about this morning to share this. I get that people go through this. I went through it. I see people in these kind of situations. They don't know that I can see through their stuff and see exactly what's going on. But I get the dynamics. You know, we don't know. We don't always know. I know I grew up, when I grew up, I didn't grow up being taught relationships and how to be it. I just, and many of us wasn't, excuse me. And sometimes they couldn't teach us that, our people, because they didn't know what they was doing either. We learning. But you find out what's going on. And when you do, you have to accept things for what they are. If it walk like a duck, it quack like a duck. It's a duck. It is. It's a duck. And you just have to accept that. I'm looking for a cough drop. I don't think I have any with me. So yeah. Excuse me. And yeah, you do. Listen, unequally yoked. That's what I was. I had a friend, she used to always tell me that too. She was funny to me. I mean, she wasn't even doing it in a judgmental way. She was like, y'all not yoked. Y'all unequally yoked. Because she knew he wasn't on what I was on. And she like, y'all just two totally different people. But like I said, I had to walk through that. And I knew it. Going in there, I knew it. And I talked to God about them. Listen, let me share this too. It wasn't, you know how sometimes you end up in relationships and situations you ain't had no business being in. That's not how it went. It was a real thing of, I talked to God about him when I met this person. And, I would had this thing even back then. That was like 15 years ago, I want to say. Where it's like, I just want who God has for me. I had went through the whole talking to different people. And that stuff be for the birds. I don't care for it. So right when I fell back, and it was on like this site back then. It was a dating site years ago. And I had stopped because I was just like, the people I was talking to was just like, okay, whatever. I had went on a couple of dates, something like that. Then he come out of nowhere. By the time I was just like, forget it. And we kind of hit it off. Excuse me. I talked to God about him. I want to know, God, is this my husband? Do I proceed? This is this and the other guy I read. He told me about this person. He shared some things. He said, well, this is this and this is that and this is that. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, is he my husband? God said, well, once a man enters a woman, you become his wife. That's what God told me. And it's true. So I'm just sitting there like, man, I started thinking about, and I can remember around that time I went through that whole thing. That was when Juanita Bynum was doing the threshing floor. I think that was what it was called. Yeah, the threshing floor. That was a book. Well, when she was doing the No More Sheep thing, when that was like real popular. And I had been hearing about it, but when God gave me that, and He said, when a man enters a woman, you become his his wife. He become your husband. Excuse me. So I had realized I had done a lot of that previously, way previously. I used to be pretty, what's the word, promiscuous. Excuse me. Let me let some air in here. Am I talking too much? Is that the problem? You say take my time, okay? Because I do be trying to. Well, I just be talking. So yeah. God told me, when He told me that, I'm like, I had to take myself through a lot of cleansing. I had did it already prior to this, because I had been abstinent for some years prior to when I got married that time. I wasn't doing any, was out there before that, doing what I was doing because I was younger. But I had got to a point when I had got pregnant with my daughter, I wanted to change my life around. I didn't like how my life was going. I didn't like what I was doing. I didn't like the choices and the decisions I was making. I just didn't like it. I didn't like how things were going for me. So I prayed, God, help me, change me, turn me around, all this, that, and the other. And that's how that had happened. So soon after, like I said, I ended up in this situation. It wasn't a thing like God was saying, no, don't do him. Because, God will let you know, like, He'll let you know He didn't do that. He told me proceed, but He let me know it's going to be some stuff. You're going to have to work your way out of this, and it's going to be real painful. God told me that. And I felt the pain. He gave me the feeling of the pain in the beginning of the relationship, and I cried. I remember crying, bawling like a baby from the pain. That later I felt and had to remember, oh yeah, that's right. So that's adult dating site. What? Who got that? How you block these? That ain't what I'm saying. Yeah, that's move you. Is that a robot? Y'all crazy. These people crazy. I mean, and that's all you can say about that. People crazy. You heard me say dating site and a robot that lost their man. I didn't say nothing like that. I ain't encouraging it. I mean, I'm not. I was making a point to say that's how I met the person. And that was years ago though. Years ago. Anyway, came to people. Keep pushing. It's the moral of this whole story. Keep pushing through the pain. Keep pushing through the heartache. Listen, you get the light is at the end of that tunnel. You just got to keep pushing, and you got to keep pushing in a positive way. In other words, you don't want to, how they say, tick for tack. You don't turn. We have to turn the other cheek. In other words, don't be going after revenge for these people. Don't be trying to get them back, and don't do things God's way. If you want the blessings of God, if you want not just the blessings, but just want to do things God's way, leave that for Him. He say vengeance is mine. And look, Excuse me, y'all. When I removed myself from that situation, the car that I was driving had stopped. It was started tripping, and it was not operable anymore. It was on me like, don't even try to get it fixed. Leave it alone. He had been having some little issues. The car was attached to him. His name was on it. So God was just like, let it go. Just let it go. So when I relocated, I didn't have a vehicle at first. Not right away. What happened was some things were going on where, like I said, I was still kind of somewhat in contact with this person. But he was far away and I didn't have a car. I was far away because I moved far away on purpose. So when things would be going down and I would want to act a fool, because back then I still had a little act a fool in me. I couldn't, because I had no way to get to where he was to act a fool. So that worked out for me. But God had literally orchestrated all that, because he knew what was getting ready to happen, what was getting ready to go down. But God is so good. He removed me from the premises and he let everything hang out, but had me so far away where I couldn't do nothing about it. I couldn't go to try to, how you get in your emotions and feelings and all that. Back then, that's what I was, where I was. But going through that situation helped me to get all of that. It helped me to see that I needed to do some inner work. And then the other part of that was realizing, after that, it was a thing where I had an attitude and nobody not going to be able to be doing all that with me no more. Not blaming other people, but other people got their own stuff. Their own, you know what I'm saying, whatever they got going on. So yours bouncing off of theirs and theirs bouncing off of it. So my thing was, I ain't even getting ready to give nobody a chance to even think they getting ready to play with me like that anymore. So that's when I had to, deal with my own emotions and, get my mind right. So I'm saying that part to say that situation helped me. I had to go through it and it was painful, but the light was at the end of the tunnel. I got to the other end. Again, I had to go through it to get to the end of it. I had to go through it to get to it. I had to go through that. And not just that, but I'm just using this as an example. I had to go through that to start to walk into what God had for me. I literally had to go through that to rise into who God made me to be. And this person, this person was trying to cause the opposite effect. They were trying to take me down, trying to ensure I never got any blessings. They wanted me to be nothing and nobody, which I'm actually the opposite of that. So them trying to cause the adverse effect actually caused what God intended. Because God is God. That's what people I don't think they get. Like, you can't overpower God. You can't stop what God is doing. God brought this to my attention again this morning, how, sometimes when they be doing what they doing, trying to stop, block, and whatever. And God was just reminding me how, it's like certain people, not this person, but certain people, like over years since I was a child, thought they was making sure I don't never develop and rise into who God created me to be. And so how you're not with me all the time. Matter of fact, you're not with me a lot. A lot of those people I don't even talk to on a regular basis. And these are some of the people obviously I had to walk away from at this point. But here's the thing. You can't, it's like, sometimes people do these things where they think they're managing, making sure, doing little stuff at you, saying this and taught you a certain way or whatever, to where they think that all that they're doing is going to ensure that you don't become who God created you to be. So, excuse me. So, it was a thing of when they can't keep God from coming and talking to you. They can't keep God from giving you these downloads, giving you these revelations. They can't keep God from doing what God's gonna do with you. So it tickles me. I laughed about it. Every time God brings it to my attention, it tickles me, because I just think that's so silly and small-minded of anyone to think that they can outdo God. It's kind of like the devil. That's how he got kicked out of heaven. What you doing, bro? What? Follow orders. You know what I'm saying? Do your job. Stay in your place. Stay in your lane. They be all somewhere else trying to be God, trying to outdo God, trying to be God in your life. And keep God out of your life. Sometimes that's what they be trying to do, trying to manage. Who manages God out of your life? Try to manage you so God can't. God can do. God is God. Like, what you doing? Anyway, I guess they have to find out. Like they say, if you don't know, then now you know. You can't stop what God doing, and you can't stop what God is doing in His people. I don't care what you do. You can't stop what God is doing. Now, if the person and sometimes we get sidetracked, sometimes we get distracted. Because guess what? Even when we get distracted, God is always still there, like, hey. And as long as we still on path with Him, He gonna always be there, like, come on, He got you. So what they gonna do? What they gonna do? What they gonna do? Nothing. Watch you walk into the things of God. Watch God use you. God gave me this morning. This a little bit off subject, but kind of it ain't. God said this to me this morning. He said, you know your enemies come to you for inspiration and motivation. I'm like, what? He said some of these people, they can't go a day without checking to see what you doing, see what you done said, what you got going on. They get their inspiration and motivation from you. That's what God said to me. I said, that's interesting. The one that they hate, the one they can't stand, the one that they try to stop and block and can't. Makes sense though, really, don't it? They get their motivation and their inspiration from you. Because they ain't got it. You know? But kingdom people, that in itself shows you keep pushing, you will get to the other side. Push through the pain. I just heard again that pain don't last always. It ain't gonna last forever. It ain't gonna last forever. Go get through it. Get through it. Push through it. And the people, I'm a living witness, and I'm gonna tell you just like this. I promise. Go mark my words. I'm gonna walk into and do every single thing that God has for me to do. I'm gonna walk into and receive every blessing that God has for me. I promise. I promise. Because I'm not finna not keep walking it out. I don't want to do nothing else. It's a thing for me where it's not even a choice. This is who I am. That's why when people try to, this was on me this morning about certain people that was trying to recruit me somewhere I was at before, trying to recruit me and looking at me like, ooh, trying to get me to be a part of what they are. I'm like, I ain't on that. And you can't change me to be something that I ain't. This is who I am. I'm not over here making a choice to walk with God. That's just what I do. You understand what I'm saying? Not that it's not a choice too, but you get what I'm saying. It's like sometimes that could just become who you are. It's just what's ingrained in you. So for somebody to be trying to stop and get in the way of that, it's like, what you doing, sis? What you doing, bruh? Like, it's not gonna work. This is who I am. Just like God is who He is, we are who we are in Him, and Him in us. I can't stop nothing. But they'll sure try just to find out. Not only ain't nothing happening, I just heard, and now they gotta come to you to get some motivation and encouragement. The very ones that try to stop it and block. Because if they don't come check on you and see what's up with you and see what you're doing or hear your voice or whatever it is that they do with you, they ain't right for the day. You know how we wake up in the morning and God is the head of our life and we talk to Him first, not them. They got to come see what you're doing first. But some of them do it at the end of the day. Some of them, you they nightcap. you put them to sleep. Anyway, kingdom people. So much for that. My nose running. I got all kind of stuff going on up in here, don't I? Anyway, You all, I just had to jump on and share that because that was on my spirit. God was like, just share it. So I don't know, you know, I just have a feeling that there's more of that to come. I just got this feeling. God got me out in these streets telling my stuff, which I don't mind. Excuse me. I just tell it when it's time. That's how I am. I'm not just want to be walking around. Even though I can talk when I get to talking. But you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm just trying to fix my camera, you all, so I can see these comments. Amen. All your focus on the Most High. That's right. Amen, Miss Annie. I don't talk to any. Okay, I be in this place where I don't even want to be bothered with people. It's horrible. It's not horrible. It's understandable because people. I was thinking about this morning. You know, and God had kind of brought it to my attention. You know, people feel like I'm staying offish, and I do. I move around, and but a lot of that be because. See, people be watching you and they seeing you and they looking at you and they trying to get your attention. They're trying to be your friend. But it's all because they want to be close to you or be attached to you in some kind of way so they can get something from you because they feel like you got something. I don't have time for that. So no, I'm not open to that. I'm not here. I just told God, I'm not here to be just for you to see and see what you can get and use me. No, I'm not opening that. You can call me staying office. You can say I stay to myself, and all of it is correct. It is. It's the truth. Excuse me. I'm not staying office to the wrong people, to the right people, should I say? Well, to the wrong people. I'm staying office to the right people, to the people I need to be staying office with. And then you can pick up on that. You know, what somebody's intentions are, especially these days. Everything is heightened these days. Like, our intuition is off the chain. We just see, those of us who are tapped in, we just see through it all. We just seeing through everything. Ain't nothing going past us. We ain't walking around trying to see and everything. We just see. And so, when people have all these intentions, trying to do this to get this, want this, trying to touch this to get, it's like, it gets old. And then you just be like, whatever. You be like, whatever, and you just go ahead on about your business. Let them do what they do because that's what they do. God gave me this morning. I'm finna go. I'm going to say this one last thing. Because it was somebody outside my window. And I could hear them talking. What I felt was they wanted me to come look out the window. I get that a lot. I ain't checking for these people. They want me to. People be wanting my attention. They want me to notice them. And I'm like, but this is what happened. I guess I heard a lady's voice, and she had to be a young girl. She said, "You're dumb." That's all I heard. And when I heard that, it did something to me because it's like, who talks like that? And you're talking to somebody, obviously you're with. What I gathered, that was some young lady out there with her boyfriend or her guy or something. But I'm like, to me, it's like, that's how y'all talk to each other. But the crazy part was that it was all designed for me to hear because they wanted to be noticed and they thought that was cute. And it was like, whoa. All I heard was low. God kept saying low. They're low. They're low. And then something else happened a little bit after that, and I kept hearing they're low. And what God was showing me is that people are low. They low. And when I say low, I'm not saying it to downplay nobody. It's just they operate from a low place. If I'm in a car with you, let's just say I'm in the car with my husband. Which I wouldn't say this, but I'd be like, you dumb. The heck? That's low. Like, and then if he with that, and it's just how we carry on, that's low. And that's what God was showing me, they low. And so it was a thing where you trying to get my attention, but you low. And I don't give my attention to low things. It's just interesting. It's just an extra little something I just thought of because, you know, that's what's going on around here. And you don't be wanting no parts of that low stuff, that demonic stuff and all that. You don't want no parts of it. And then they can't get with where you are. I ain't gonna say they can't, but you know what I'm saying. They're not there. And you don't want no parts of what they got going on and what they doing because it's low. It's low, which reminds me, going back to the situation I was really talking about. That's what happened. I removed myself from this person. They want no parts of them because what I realized, you're low. That person is low. And that ain't what I'm on, where I'm going. I never have been quite there. But you get what I'm saying? It was like, you're low. You're low. And I gotta go. But anyway, Katie, people, I really do have to go. I know my daughter is like, where is this lady at? She said she's going to pick up a few things from the store and get some coffee. Did she have to make the coffee? Did she have to open and close the coffee shop? She know how I am. She probably talking to them kingdom people. My mama always talking about the kingdom people. But you know, sometimes I be talking to y'all, y'all ain't even there. Sometimes I be talking to y'all, I be like, kingdom people. In my room, like, kingdom people. I think y'all be hearing me too, though. I do. I really believe sometimes y'all be hearing me. Anyway, kingdom people, thank you all so much for joining. Y'all hung out with me. You won't be just, oh, I read that one. Yeah, warfare, right? You heard me say warfare. I'm at the point, I'm like, whatever. I don't even care no more. Not in a way like I'm not. Listen, I'm put like this. I got on the full armor. Okay? I ain't thinking about these. I'm not. I really ain't. I'm over it. Excuse me. This is the thing, kingdom people. The devil is already defeated. He under our feet. All we gotta do is walk in our authority. That's what we doing. And I mean, they just don't fly monkeys. Just want some attention. Notice me. You know, yeah, attacks, warfare, all that. Yeah. It's getting old. It's getting old. And excuse me. Meaningless. Because it's like, where you going with this? And then what it be happening to okay, people, it builds you up. You build up. See, once you done press through all that, now you know. You listen, you standing 10 toes down. Strong. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, it becomes a joke. It becomes a joke. You know, you walk through this thing, you have that faith in God, you trust, and it's the thing, when you know you protected and he got you, it don't even matter who do what, because you know you protected. You just walk through and do what you need to do and be about your father's business. You don't even care nothing about none of that. And I just keep hearing it. You walking in your authority. You walk in your authority. You just walk in your authority. That stuff can't do nothing to you. It hasn't. In fact, it has only built you and made you stronger. Hold on. Here you go right here and put you in your place of authority. Because you've walked through it and you've overcome it. So now you're walking in your place. You're in your place of authority. And it's like, if they still want to keep, okay. But you already in your place of authority for many of you. And it is what it is. But that stuff can't touch y'all. Can't do it. Now, I ain't saying that you won't feel it. You know, especially in the beginning stages, middle stages. But once you coming up on them end stages, it's a wrap. It's over with. Like I said, I wanted to say, if they want to still keep going, but something tell me, some of these ones, I'm going to tell y'all this, and I'm finna go for real. For real, I'm finna go. God keeps saying this to me. He said this to me as clear as day this morning. Then I was listening to somebody that kind of said it. I said, God, here you go with this again. God said that it's them ones, he bringing them down. He taking you up. He bringing them, so it's like this. While he taking you up, he bringing them down. Some of these people are losing everything. They're losing things, or they will, what they have on, I'm just hearing, he who has much more will be given to him, and he who does not have that which he has will be taken from him. It'll be one of them kind of things. They won't have nothing, and whatever they do have gonna be taken, and God giving it all to you. What they do have, that's gonna be all that they have. It ain't gonna be no elevation. Ain't gonna be no blessing. It's gonna be dry. It's gonna be dry. A lot of these people are living a dry life. They living a dry, empty life because they was messing with you. It's a big no-no. So now they have to watch you rise while they fall. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. That's just a side note. Kingdom people, I love you all so very much. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for joining. I got real low. Y'all saw that? I got real quiet. Thank you. I appreciate it. I received that, Miss Annie. I pray for you all too, just so you know. I pray for my kingdom people. Sure do. So yeah, I love you all. Thank you all for being here. I hope that this message was a message, some kind of message. And I will see you all next time. I hope you all have a blessed, wonderful, prosperous day. And yeah, talk to you next time. Talk to you later. Bye, kingdom people.